Hello and thank you for watching Wyoming News Now. I'm Valeria Fugate. This week, President Donald Trump spoke to the UN General Assembly about the green hoax. In our final part of our climate change series, we spoke with the National Weather Service and lawmakers to get their take on the impact of green initiatives and global warming. There's a local flight school in Cheyenne that's veteran-led, that's helping other veterans touch the skies. Will you be running for president?
No, I'm running to represent Wyoming in the House of Representatives.
And that's it for now.
That's what I'm doing.
Oh, well. There's a nonprofit organization in Cheyenne that helps veterans and active service members connect with resources and supplies they need to be successful and gives back to those who have given so much. So during the 2020 presidential debates, you had some choice words for Trump. And now you're endorsing him. What's changed for you? As food and other goods became even more expensive last month, while Americans continue spending, they're also souring on the economy to levels seen rarely. LCCC is opening up their dental hygienist program to help students take a bite out of an educational opportunity. Can we vote for you? Can we support
can't vote for me, but you can cheer me on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can sign on to TikTok and go, yay!
Yes.
In celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month, we take a look at Hispano-Latino history and its impact on Wyoming. The Behind the Chutes tour helps folks understand the sport of rodeo and the animal athletes that make Cheyenne Frontier Days the daddy of them all. So did you know the lunar eclipse is tomorrow?
What? Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I love any celestial events. I love them.
Yeah.
Many people will be experiencing a celestial treat. All right, we're at the start of day 2. We're getting everybody fed this morning with some good breakfast before we start our day of the tour of memorials. Morning came early at 6 a.m. for these veterans. Everyone fueled up before we headed out. Speaking with one of the High Plains board members, he tells me he's been doing these flights for 10 years. In that time, he befriended a World War II veteran who confided in him not every veteran gets a homecoming.
He got home from the war a year and a half after it ended, and the only people that met him there was his mom and dad. And he said he got there around midnight. He woke up the next morning and went to work at 6 a.m.
Many of these soldiers came back with unseen injuries. After breakfast, we headed towards the World War II Memorial, which honors 16 million U.S. Armed Forces members and a wall of over 4,000 stars that commemorates the ultimate sacrifice of almost 406,000 Americans. 97-year-old World War II veteran Richard Chubb says the memorial brings back good and bad memories.
I remember people I knew. It's hard. I was doing real well until they showed a picture of the barrel at sea, and that brought back bad ones. So.
The next stop was Arlington National Cemetery and the home of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. The cemetery was established in May of 1864, and more than 400,000 people are buried there. The property is managed by the U.S. Department of the Army that has a changing of the guard every half to full hour depending on the time of year. John F. Kennedy is also buried there. Next was the Iwo Jima U.S. Marine Corps War Memorial. The 16-foot bronze statue is modeled after the iconic photograph taken by Joe Rosenthal. It shows 6 soldiers raising the American flag at Iwo Jima on February 1945, concluding the American campaign in the Pacific during World War II. The Vietnam Memorial was next. Over 58,000 Americans gave their lives, and it's the most visited memorial on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. The wall was dedicated as a promise to never forget those who served and sacrificed during the Vietnam War.
I forgot about Vietnam whenever I came back.
More than 100 veterans of the Vietnam War made this journey. Please know you are seen. Even those of us in the Pentagon, you're honored, you're remembered, and from my heart, you are loved.
This is hard. Carrying this stuff around for 50 years is hard to just eliminate in 2 days.
This country had to learn a very, very hard lesson the hardest possible way. And it was through your example that they learned it. And There's nothing we can do to go back and change that, but we can honor and carry it forward and make sure that never happens again, and that we continue honoring our brothers and sisters that serve.
The people with the honor flight had gave me some closure. The people standing along the route and the people waving flags, and even the people here that comes by and says thank you to us. It does. After 50 years, it is rewarding.
I'm just delighted when I see our veterans come, and so is everybody else in Washington. They stop, they'll salute, they'll shake hands, they'll say thank you for your service.
And finally, we arrived at the Lincoln Memorial.
We have families tell us all the time, Uncle Joe never talked about his experiences, in the service, and he went on your flight, and now we can't get him to shut up.
The next High Plains honor flight is happening in September, and for those who made it back, we'd like to say welcome home and thank you for your service in Washington, D.C., for Wyoming. Because local matters, I'm Valeria Fugate, Wyoming News Now. This Wyoming excavation site behind me may hold the secret to a 14,000-year civilization, thanks to some rocks. Last summer, archaeologists in the town of Sunrise, Wyoming, stumbled across something big, or rather old, 14,000 years old to be exact. Private owner John Voigt, along with his team of archaeologists led by George Zeman and George Friesen, who passed in 2020, came across a once-in-a-lifetime finding.
We were just exploring places on the terrace where we thought they might have camped. And we finally got down about 10 feet below the surface, and we started finding artifacts. And of course, we didn't know how old they were.
From an old red ochre iron mining site, they found stone chips and stone tools that date back 14,000 years. These recent findings were verified by the Baylor University and Beta Data Analytics through radiocarbon dating and OSL, or optically stimulated luminescence technology. These pieces came back with the exact same dates, making it older than the oldest population, the Clovis people, or 13,500 years ago.
Well, it just confirms that there were people here prior to the Clovis people. And we've thought that was possible, over the years, but we never had good data to back that theory up with. And now we're getting good data that will confirm, and we're going to have to learn who those people were and what they looked like and what kind of artifacts they were making compared to the Clovis people.
The Wyoming state archaeologist Spencer Pelton said there will still need to be more testing and peer reviewing to substantiate the claim.
A lot of people think that humans didn't really get to the New World that long ago, 14,000 years ago. The humans got here around 13,000 years ago. So pushing it back another 1,000 years is a pretty big deal with some pretty big implications. And I think in any case like that, it's good to kind of wait and see what kind of evidence is compiled to make the case that this is an intact, buried archaeological site that dates to that age.
This new finding could potentially be the oldest found cultural site to date in Wyoming, outside of Texas and New Mexico within North America.
This is the first time we've got those old dates like that from Wyoming. So as long as I keep doing research, we're going to keep learning stuff, It's how science progresses. You just keep pushing the envelope,
I'm Valeria Fugate, Wyoming News Now.
With the first whiffs of fall in the air, the summer season is coming to a close. And along with that comes school, reading, and Laramie County's School District 1 book vetting policies.
For decades, trusted the expertise of our district librarians to vet the books that go into our libraries. And now there seems to be a discussion about whether or not their vetting is good enough. And I think it beckons back to how do we create safe spaces for children to learn?
An event was held in Cheyenne this week that gave the community a chance to meet and learn more about several candidates running for LCSD1's School Board of Trustees and to touch on some controversial topics.
We are seeing more polarization than ever before on one side or the other. So whatever side you're on, what is happening is we are working in silos. We're not building bridges.
Held at Bonsai Books, the event had a live Reading Rainbow mural painting, food, games, and a raffle. They also discussed recent hot button issues like book vetting, representation.
The thread that binds books to political outcomes is that you must have representation in our democracy. People who are directly affected by policies should be the people creating those policies.
And who gets to decide what's appropriate materials for our children in school?
These elected officials that are making these decisions on school board policy, on whether to have open access to books or not, they need to hear from individuals.
Information on voter registration will also be provided on site. The candidates are scheduled to attend another event at Lions Park on Saturday.